Hey, good morning, guys. Hope everyone is surviving the pandemic. But here is my app. So down in the bottom right here, we can see Dungeon Viewer. That is the official icon of the app as of right now. So I'm gonna have this might be a little bit longer than 2 minutes because I do have to talk through everything because there's nothing that really indicates where I'm pointing or what I'm clicking on. So I'm gonna click on the app and we're gonna open it up real quick. Just kind of bear with me. So just starting to walk through it. This is still my rough draft of a home screen front end. Front end is really easy for me to play with. I have experience with front end design and everything like that, so I've been kind of saving it for the end here because it's just polish that I can put on once I'm done. So nonetheless, as you can see, there are two options. There are user options and the arcane eye. We're just going to jump right into the arcane eye just to kind of see exactly what the app is eventually meant to do. So right now it's set up to search for an anchorable surface. That's what these dots are. It finds this anchorable surface. And once it finds this anchorable surface, you can tap to place a model. Now it has a default model anytime you load in. Bam, this is our barbarian. He starts at human size but can be scaled all the way down to a 1 inch by 1 inch square, which is your standard tabletop role-playing game size. I even set out some of my own personal pieces for reference. So that is pretty much how that piece works. The fun part, however, of the whole application is going to be the customization side. So if we swipe up and hit the back button, we can come back here to our user options. So the way that this will inevitably work is that there will be QR tokens laying on the playing field, and the device will recognize the QR tokens, and depending on if it's the red QR token or the blue QR token, you can tell it which model you want placed of the 8 that I now have. As you can see me using this scroll bar, there is a listener in there, so it automatically changes when you're going along the way. All you have to do is hit the submit changes to send it over to the actual arcane eye. So now that I've changed the red token, which is our default token, to the wizard, we're going to go ahead and hit that submit changes button. We're going to open arcane eye again. We're going to wait for our anchorable surface to be located, and bam, now we have a wizard. Pretty darn cool. We're going to go back just to show you a couple other functionalities here. I will note that if you use the back button up at the top of the screen next to where it says user options, it will not save the changes. That is by design, lest the user enter the user options and want to leave without actually changing anything. That is fine, but anytime you do hit submit changes, it will remember them. So we'll go here, hit submit changes, and now we should have my rogue. So there he is. The really cool thing is that, yes, this can support multiple models. So you can just keep throwing different versions of the same model in here and everything like that. So I won't be worried about multiple models being on the environment at the same time. And once I figured that out, I added this extra new functionality called free play mode. Now you can take a second to read this here, but basically free play mode allows the user to change the options from within the environment. So we're going to go ahead and, like always, remember we hit submit changes, and then we open our arcane eye again. Now you can see that there's a scroll bar up at the top of the screen, and we still find the anchorable surface. Once we click, we're going to go to first our barbarian, and that's great. But remember how last time we wanted the wizard? Well, if we just go to the end there that we know is the wizard, now we have our wizard. And now we have our barbarian and a wizard standing against this army of monsters behind them within the AR environment. So next steps, I'm just going to kind of pan over here because I think that's going to be the best way to do it if it can focus. It can't really, but that's okay. There's not much to see here that we haven't already, just a bunch of back-end stuff. But basically, this code fragment right here, this block of text, is a set on tap AR plane listener. So basically what that is that it knows that when you tap, it will place the AR plane onto existence. All I have to do now is build a separate class that will instantiate the actual targetable object, i.e. the QR code, and then from there just make an if statement that if they are in free play mode, they can go to this AR fragment that sets on tap, and if they're not in free play mode, that it will just call that other class so that it can recognize the QR token objects. That is pretty much the project. Thanks so much, guys. Stay healthy.